Welcome to Late Night Gaming. It's been really busy, had a lot of things going on. Still working on the keywords video. I had a little issue with the programming, and so I'm back at it, but it's going to be a little bit later than I wanted it. Tonight, I was requested to do a Tony Stark Ironman deck, and the person who requested it has only the core set, so I figured I would make a Tony Stark Ironman deck with only core set cards. So, without further ado, let's get going. We have Tony Stark, the Futurist. He has 3 recovery, an alter ego action, Futurist action. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the others. This is extremely useful for Tony Stark, Iron Man, because what he wants to do is find his suit and put it together. But there's also other cards that you may need. Maybe you have suit pieces in your hand and you need a resource to put them out. And doing this action, you can find that resource, put it out, discard the other 2, and you kind of cycle through your deck and get to the parts that you need for it to function properly before everything else. Now, why do you want that suit so bad? Well, we go over to Iron Man's side. He has 2 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. Not so great, right? He's only got 9 hit points. Ouch. Okay. But then, he's got the Avenger trait, and you get +1 hand size for each tech upgrade you control to a maximum of a hand size of 7. So, if you have all of his suit pieces out, you have a hand size of 7. It is an outstanding thing, and we'll get to all the pieces of the suit. So we'll go straight into what his cards are. Right here, just stick Iron Man right there. Yep, this is who we're working on. And first and foremost of his cards, we have War Machine. Now, War Machine is a 4-cost ally. He's expensive, right? He has 1 thwart and 2 attack. He has 4 hit points. So, to put out War Machine, you need to make sure that you have, some of those resource cards that reduce the cost by 2, because basically you're spending 2 resources for 1 card. Really good resource cards. You've seen them. I include them in every deck. Those resource cards that I'm talking about. We are the Energy, the Genius, and the Strength. The double resource cards. Use those to put out War Machine. Otherwise, he's just super expensive and maybe not really worth the price, right? He has an action, Exhaust War Machine, deal 2 damage to him, deal 1 damage to each enemy. So, great way to get a small amount of damage on everything on the field, but not a great way of, maybe you're playing solo or 2-player and there's only like 2 minions out, and you're only going to deal out 3 damage. He's taking 2 damage to do so. Maybe you want that extra damage, maybe you don't. It's not really great. But this ally is pretty cool because he's also a shield and he's a soldier, which means that he if you get into the Sinister Motive set, they have shield cards in there. You can use team building exercise with that, and then now you can play off of team building exercise, the shield cards and stuff like that. So it's not bad. It's just not great starting out with the core set. That is his signature ally, right? We have 3 of the following card called the Repulsor Blast. 1, 2, 3. It's a 1-cost event. Great. Alright, it is a hero action attack. Deal 1 damage to an enemy and discard the top 5 cards of your deck. For each printed energy resource discarded this way, deal 2 additional damage to that enemy. So, if you discard an energy resource card, when you play this, you are getting 2 additional for each printed energy resource. 1, 2. So you'd have 2 and 4 damage additional just from that one card. And then other cards in his deck that have that energy resource will also help with this card to fire off just a massive amount of damage. I mean, 2 per, you discard 5 cards, you discard all 5 of them, and they're all energy resources, and you have one of these along with it. That's 8, 10 damage? 12. Yeah. Because 2 times 5 is 10, and then you have an extra one, so it would be 12 damage off one card. Really, really cool, especially when it fires off. Now you have 3 of them in your deck, so chances are, if you get it early, you don't need to use it. Use it as a resource. Okay? That's how you use Iron Man. Uses things as resources until you get him built out and ready to go. Okay, he has another attack event. This one's a 2 cost. He has 2 of them. It is a supersonic punch. That one is a deal 4 damage to an enemy, 8 damage if you have the aerial trait. How does Tony Stark Iron Man get the aerial trait? Well, he's Iron Man. We'll get to that, don't worry. But that's really cool. 4 or 8 damage. Try to get that 8 damage, but sometimes you just need that 4 damage. Get rid of something real quick. Do it. It's okay. Right? His next card is a support. 3 cost. Pepper Potts. She is awesome. Okay? Resource. So you can use her in Alter Ego, you can use her in Hero mode. Doesn't matter. Exhaust Pepper Potts. Generate the resources of the top card in your discard pile. So, that's your discard pile. Generate the top resource card. There it is. It's wild resource. So you exhaust Pepper Potts and you get a wild resource. That's how that works. Whatever that top card is of your discard pile becomes your resource with Pepper Potts out. Really awesome. Love Pepper Potts. So save your butt. Speaking of, Stark Tower. When he's in Alter Ego trying to build his suit, exhaust Stark Tower, choose a player. That player returns topmost tech upgrade in their discard pile to their hand. Now, why is this important? Well, Tony Stark, here we go. He's a futurist. Look at top 3 cards, add 1 to your hand. Yes, we already went over that. Now you have Stark Tower out, exhaust Stark Tower. You can choose a player, topmost tech in their discard pile to their hand, right? So that's like you go through from top to bottom until you find that topmost tech, and then you put it in your hand. Okay, so all Tony Stark's armor pieces are tech upgrades, right? Starting with the Arc Reactor. 2 cost upgrade. Hero action, exhaust Arc Reactor, ready Iron Man. Right? Cool. Now when it says hero action, it means that you can only do it in hero form. Alter Ego action, you can only do it in Alter Ego form. So, if you are in hero form and you have the Arc Reactor on, you can exhaust the Arc Reactor, make Iron Man ready, and use him again. Really, really cool. But say you needed this resource, or you discarded it for that really awesome repulsor blast at some point. It can happen. It's okay. Because if you're an Alter Ego, whoop, you can exhaust this card. Yep. We use the tower and pull this back out of your discard pile because it's your topmost one and put it in your hand, which means you can then play it again. And it's okay. Sorry about my throat. It's been, lots of stuff happening. Holidays, man. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way. Alright, 3 cost upgrade, Mark 5 armor. You get plus 6 hit points. Okay, so he goes from 9 to 15 just by that one upgrade. Really cool. Awesome. That's 2 upgrade pieces, right? So now he's at a hand size of 3 in hero form. Oh, here we go. Mark 5 helmet. 1 cost upgrade. Hero action, exhaust Mark 5 helmet. Remove 1 threat from a scheme, or from each scheme if you have the aerial trait. Cool. There's another upgrade. You're up to 4 hand size. Power gauntlets, 2 cost upgrade. You have 2 of them, 1 for each hand. Hero action exhaust power gauntlets, deal 1 damage to an enemy, or 2 damage instead if you have the aerial trait. He wants to be aerial, and he wants to put those pieces out. Here we go, rocket boots. That's how you get to fly. You get plus 1 hit point. Oh, cool, okay. So I'm at 15. Right? 9, 6, 15, 16, 17. Iron Man can get to 17 hit points if he gets all his armor pieces out. Pretty cool. Hero action, exhaust rocket boots, and spend a mental resource, gain the aerial trait until the end of the turn. This is how he gets to fly. So, how do you get that mental resource? Okay, you have Pepper Potts, right? Pepper Potts can get that top card and give you that resource, which is neat. And then War Machine, he's a wild resource, so you always have it available if that's the case. You just need that quick burst, right? You don't need both rocket boots. You only need one to be able to be aerial. You can throw the other one away. You can just have the other one in your hand using it as a resource so that you can fly, right? Keep cycling one of them so that you can constantly have at least one resource for flying. Those are all of Tony's cards. Lots of upgrade pieces, because he wants to build his suit, and you want him to build his suit. Because once his suit is built, he is amazing and wicked fun to do, okay? So here's his suit pieces, right? Arc Reactor, Mark 5 armor, Mark 5 helmet, Power Gauntlets times 2, Rocket Boots times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can have a maximum hand size of 7, which means get the 6, keep one set of boots out, and using it as your discard thing, so you can get that mental resource. Pepper Potts, use it once to fly, use the next turn to fly. It's a cool idea. And then you have the 6 pieces, so get plus 1 up to a maximum of 7, so his hand size is 1. And then you put those pieces out, now you have a hand size of 7, and you're just off to the races. Basically, Iron Man would be built and everything is going according to plan, because that's what he does. But how? How can he build his suit so efficiently? That's a good question. Well, to start things off, we'll bring out his resource cards. We have the energy, the genius, and the strength. Okay? You need those because they're double resource cards. They're very effective in every hero except for the ones that don't really need it, you know? There's some that don't really need it. So you need to be able to thwart. You need to be able to keep threat down so that you can build your suit. Now, how are you going to do that without flipping over to your hero side with your one hand size? Well, the way you're going to do that is through using allies. And we'll start off our ally train with Mockingbird because we're using only the Coreset. Mockingbird is a 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack. After she enters play, you can stun an enemy. Now this is great if you're playing multiplayer. The other player is in hero form and you're in alter ego. You can use Mockingbird to thwart one and stun the villain, and now your partner is not going to take a villain attack that turn. It's great. And she has basically 2 thwart and a defend, or 2 attack and a defend, or 1 thwart, 1 attack, or however you want to work it. You can have, 3 thwarts, 3 attacks. Who cares? Whatever you have, up to 3. Because that's the health. You take a consequential each time you do something. Next, we have Nick Fury. Why Nick Fury? Well, Nick Fury is... well, he's Nick Fury. And the Coreset doesn't have a lot of choices. So, Nick Fury. He comes out, he can do 2 thwart right off the bat. There you go. Nice. He's also a quick defender. Hey, he's got 3 health. He has forced response. After Nick Fury enters play, choose 1. Remove 2 threat. Well, you can thwart for 4, basically. You can draw 3 cards. Oh, we want to draw 3 cards because we're Tony Stark, and we want to get more cards so we can get our suit built, so we can go up to hero form and have a hand size of 7 and just do all the things. Or deal 4 damage to an enemy. Have a pesky enemy? Get rid of it! At the end of the round, if Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. This is why Nick Fury is great. You spend 4. You draw 3 cards, so basically he doesn't cost much. Then you go ahead and thwart for 2, so now you're keeping the threat down and you're able to stay in alter ego longer. He's also a blocker for your other player, and then he goes away. Very nice. Our next fun friend, leadership. Maria Hill. That's right, we're using leadership with Iron Man. You thought I was gonna do justice. Maria Hill. Maria Hill is a 2-cost ally. She has 2 health, 2 thwart, 1 attack, right? Response. After Maria Hill enters play, each player draws 1 card. Awesome. Iron Man likes to draw cards because the more cards he has, the more chances he has to get his suit put together out on the field and ready to go in a short amount of time. You want to do it as quickly as possible. So you get out Maria Hill, everybody draws a card at the table. It's awesome, you're helping your friends, you're helping yourself. If you're the first player, you get to draw a card, your friend draws a card, and now, everything is good to go. They have an extra card, and it's really nice. She can also thwart for 2, so as soon as she comes out, you draw a card, and now you thwart 2. So now you're keeping that main scheme down so that you can keep building your suit and not have to worry. Your next friend is the Vision. He's another 4-cost ally, and it's okay, because he has 1 thwart and 2 attack, but if you spend an energy resource, which Iron Man is going to be utilizing a lot of, he can choose thwart or attack, and until the end of the phase, Vision gets +2 to the chosen power. So you could basically use Vision to thwart for 3 when he comes out, if you have that energy resource, or you can do an attack for 4. You get thwart 3 or attack for 4, and he has 3 health. He's really, really good. Why wouldn't you want this guy with an Iron Man deck where you're using those energy resources as much as possible anyways? Get a Vision. Great. And then you have those pesky minions, so control them with Hawkeye, because Hawkeye is awesome. We love Hawkeye. Hawkeye has 3, he costs 3 to put out. He has 3 health. He has 1 thwart and 1 attack, so you're not using him much for his thwarting or attacking, but Hawkeye enters play with 4 arrow counters on him. After a minion enters play, remove 1 arrow counter from Hawkeye and deal 2 damage to that minion. Now this is just a response, it's not a forced response, so if you don't want to use that arrow on that minion, you don't have to, it's your choice. But he's great. Maybe you have a 2 health minion, Hawkeye can just take it out before it can even do anything. Maybe you have a boost minion that came out and bam, Hawkeye's like, no, get rid of that guy, he's out. That's what makes Hawkeye awesome. And then once he's all done using up all his arrows, right, you still have a thwart and 1 thwart, 1 attack you can use with his 3 health, and then use him as a blocker. And that'll recycle him and you can bring him back out later. Always remember too, in this game, a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's dead, this guy's dead. They're not dying, they're defeated. They just lost that 1 fight, and now they're going to recover and come right back. That's how this game works. Nobody dies, except maybe, the robots that are destroyed or something, Alright, let's get to the supports, because we need some help. First off, Avengers Mansion. There's a maximum 1 player, so we're only using 1 in this step. Action, exhaust Avengers Mansion, choose a player, that player draws 1 card. Iron Man wants to draw cards, let's make it happen. Don't worry if you can't get this out immediately, it's a mental resource, use it for flying if you need to. It's okay. But get it out relatively quickly, if you have the option. And always remember, you can use his upgrades because you have Spark Tower that can get those upgrades back in your hand later anyway. Next, we have the Helicarrier. It's a 3-cost support. Max 1 per player also, so there's only 1 in the deck. Exhaust the Helicarrier. Choose a player. Reduce the resource cost of the next card, but that player plays this phase by 1. This is just a regular action, so you can use it in Alter Ego, you can use it in hero form, you can use it for your friend. Everything's cool about this card. It's a must-have, especially in the core set. But you don't need 3 of them for every hero, you only need 1 because it's a max 1 per player, and you can't play it on another player. Only you can have it when you have it in your deck. So, play it and use it because it's awesome. Finally, we have the Triskelion. Increase your ally limit by 1. This allows you to control more than 3 allies because that is a thing. You can only have up to 3 allies out at a time. With this card, you can have 4! Why is that cool? Well, you have these 2 getting cycled in and out, and you have these 3 that you want to keep out for a little bit, right? So if you have these 3 out, you have the Triskelion out, well now you can cycle these 2 whenever you want to, and none of your other ones have to get discarded in that process. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Triskelion. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. Yay! Okay. Now you have expensive cards, so let's make them less expensive. We have the double suite here, and then we have for all of your leadership cards, that's the blue ones. This will double the resource cost down here, which is wild, which means that your blue cards now cost. This will give you 2 resources for those blue cards instead of just 1. And it still gives you 1 for all the other cards. Next we have Make the Call. Why is Make the Call cool? Well, Make the Call is a 0-cost event. Pay the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile, and put that ally into play under your control. You want your friend's card? Put your friend's card out. You want your own card? Put your own card out. Who do you want to cycle? Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Why? They get cards. Cards for everybody or cards for you. And they both have a 2 thwart, so that's going to keep Iron Man able to stay in Alter Ego and get everything set up. And then maybe your friend has some really cool friend guy that you want out, so go ahead and make the call that guy out. Do whatever you want. It's your make the call. Make the call. Right? Yeah. That's what we're going to do. So there's 3 of those, right? Next we have Lead from the Front. Why lead from the front? Well, there wasn't many options to begin with the solid core set cards and its energy resource, which we want in the deck anyways, okay? So, to be fair, all the rest of the cards are all energy resource cards because we want Iron Man to be able to use those energy resources. So, choose a player. Each character that player controls gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase. It's a 2-cost event and it's a hero action. So you can only play this in hero form. That's when you're Iron Man, not Tony Stark. If you're this guy, you can't do this. But if you're this guy, go for it! Alright. So that means that you could play this on your friend, you could play this on yourself, and every character that you control or they control gets +1 thwart and attack. That would be Nick Fury becomes a 3/3. Maria Hill becomes a 3/2. Mockingbird becomes a 2/2. Vision becomes a 2/3. Or 4/5. You know, craziness. Hawkeye gets 2/2. This is why that lead from the front is cool. You can boost your allies, you can boost your friends' allies, you can boost everybody's allies. Just make everybody awesome. Next we have Let's Take Care of Enemies. Hero action. When you're this guy, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Only costs 2. 2 for 3 damage. Okay. But there's energy resources which you want to be able to use, right? Energy resources for those repulsor blasts. So don't worry about it. It's okay. Use it when you need to. Don't use it when you don't need to. And then finally we have Emergency. What? Yes, when the villain schemes, reduce the amount of threat placed on the scheme by 1. So, you have to stay in Iron Man Tony Stark form for a while getting your suit built. This allows you to do it with a little bit more of a cushion, because now that villain is going to scheme, and, you know, they can't scheme as much, because it's reduced by 1. And If you have two of them in hand, play them both. It's okay. You can do that. You have all three in hand. Play all three of them. That's okay. You can do that too. That is the deck. That was it. Nice and quick and easy. It's all Coreset cards. It's Iron Man. Iron Man is awesome. He's super fun to play. And you can put all of his suit together. And you can use all these awesome energy resources to do things. Like those. And then you can use all of these really awesome mental resources to go ahead and fly. Along with those ones to be able to fly some more. And these to do those repulsor blasts. And that to do the repulsor blast. And that to do the repulsor blast. And that to do the repulsor blast. And that to fly. That to fly. Wow. So many options to fly a repulsor blast. And have your suit built. I mean, and then you just have these few cards here that you're basically going to be using all the time. So they're not even going to really count. So you're basically going to be able to do that repulsor blast like a crazy person. Right? Do the repulsor blast. You get all these energy resources here. I mean, it's just craziness. There's so many of them. So many energy resources. And you just do the thing. Okay. Now, that was Iron Man. That's his deck. That's the cool stuff he can do. But he's a businessman. So businessmen have problems, right? Business problems is his obligation. You may flip to alter ego form and choose. Okay, may flip. That means that you get to choose if you're going to flip or not. And then exhaust Tony Stark and remove business problems from the game. Or exhaust each upgrade you control and discard this obligation. Maybe you only have one thing out. And you need to be able to play that round. Maybe the threat's really bad and you need to be able to thwart that round. Okay, cool. Just exhaust that one upgrade and discard this and everything's fine. Otherwise, exhaust Tony Stark. It's okay. He's only an alter ego to get his suit built out anyways, so don't worry about it. Exhaust him and take this out of the game and don't worry about it anymore. Because you also have this guy, Whiplash. Remember him from the movie? That was pretty cool, I thought. But he's got these awesome energy whips. He has Retaliate 1. After this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. That's what Retaliate does. If he gets attacked, that's through an event or through your basic attack, he's going to retaliate you, and you take 1 damage. You'll take 1 damage for attacking this guy. He schemes for 2, he's attacking for 3, and he has 4 health. So he's weak, but he's strong, because he can hit you hard, and he's going to hit you hard when you hit him. So when you hit this guy, make sure that you can hit him all at once, because when you take out this 4 hit points, he can't retaliate because he's defeated. That's the key to retaliate. You take them out before they can retaliate you. That's the trick. How do you do it? Well, here we go. This is imminent overload. Whiplash has seized control of a power plant, threatening to overload transformers if his demands are not met. He's like a thief. Yeah, whatever. When revealed, place an additional 1 per hero threat here. Okay? This is going to add an advanced token to the scheme. Now, the thing is, and you have to know this, these tokens are only placed on the main scheme when the encounter deck runs out of cards or something happens to where the main scheme is going to take an advanced token. When these are in play, you just count these. You don't add a token to your main scheme because this is on the field. Because what's going to happen is you're going to thwart this off. Oh, I did it, it's gone. And you're going to forget that the main scheme has that on it. In the next round, you're going to be adding that +1 for the rest of the game, not realizing that you got rid of the thing that was making it do that. So don't put this on when you get one of these. Just remember that it's there. It's much easier to look and be like, oh, yeah, slow down a little bit and look. Oh yeah, okay, I have an advance, so I gotta add one to the threat when it's the villain phase begins. And then if you have this on your main scheme, then you're gonna be adding another +1, right? So just a little food for thought. Okay. More about Whiplash. She's got the electromagnetic backlash. She's got the electric whip attack. More bad things that are gonna do stuff. But it's okay. When they come up, you'll deal with them. It's all good. That is his nemesis. That is his obligation. That is the Iron Man deck. Tony Stark, Iron Man. I am Iron Man. That's right, he is. And it is awesome. And play it. Play this deck. It will be super fun, especially if you just got this game. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff. Thank you for watching, and have a good night, everybody.